everyone turn it off. No hats in the chamber, out of respect. And please be respectful. Verbal abuse will not be tolerated throughout the meeting. Let's go ahead, Jesse.
I just want to announce through Mayor and Council that I will have my phone next to me and out only for the purposes of using the timer for any speaking questions.
All right, thank you very much for that. So, public meeting, I'd like to call order the public meeting, July 29th at 6 p.m. First order of business on the agenda, a call for any pecuniary interest regarding this agenda. I don't believe any of the council has any there, so as the one item on the agenda is the public hearing, I'd like a motion to accept the, Corey?
Move to accept the agenda as presented.
Thank you, all in favor? As carried. So, I would like to open the public hearing for regional water. The purpose of this public hearing is to seek public input on a proposed creation of a municipal controlled corporation between the County of Wetaskiwin and Town of Thorsby. Confirmation and notice, Donna?
Your Worship and Council, notice is placed in the July 11th, 2025 and July 18th, 2025 editions of the Connect 39. Notice was also published on the Town of Thorsby website and County of Wetaskiwin number 10 website on June 28, 2025, in accordance with the 30-day notice as prescribed by the Municipal Corporation Regulation.
Thank you for that. So we will have a presentation there. There is a PowerPoint, and I'm going to ask Donna to present it, and co-presenter Scott McDonald, the CEO for the County of Wetaskiwin. So go right ahead, Donna.
Thank you, Your Worship. If we can bring up the PowerPoint, Madam Clerk. Thank you very much. So good evening, everyone, council and guests. If we can, tonight's purpose of this public hearing is to talk about the municipal controlled corporation, regional opportunity between the Town of Thorsby and the County of Wetaskiwin number 10. We'll go through a PowerPoint presentation to kind of let you know what the purpose is, what we're doing, what's happening, what we need to do, and then we'll carry on with the public hearing. Madam Clerk. So, Municipal Controlled Corporation, or MCC, is meant for service provision and managing assets. It's also a legal partnership between municipalities, owned by the municipalities, owned by the municipalities, and it's a separate legal entity. It provides a service for framework for service delivery and governance, and it allows us to manage complex service delivery and maintaining public oversight and trust through the Municipal Corporation Regulation and through the Municipal Government Act. It's governed under the Municipal Government Act and does require public input. Material changes require additional public hearings, and that's way down the road. But for example, if we pledge assets to the municipal corporation, that triggers a public hearing, and that's called a material change. So that's just an example. Right now, the MCC is not signed because we have to follow the rules, and a public hearing has to come first. It's designed also to provide shared services like utilities, and water is a utility, and that's what we're speaking to tonight, is water, regional water distribution between the Town of Thorsby and Wetaskiwin County number 10. So part of what we're going to do is just do a bit of an overview of the proposed MCC, and we're going to talk about in this PowerPoint the benefits of a formal partnership. We're going to highlight water access, growth, and security goals, and explain our current status with respect to this, and next steps. Right here. So we're going to talk a little bit about future focus for water. We're going to talk about water security in the future, and why now? One of the reasons why one of the reasons why we've worked on this so hard is because of there's water shortages, there's infrastructure deficits, and of course we're looking down the road at water security, and we have to look 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years in the future. We're looking at things right now to provide us with that infrastructure deficit reduction and the water security, and the start of that is a municipal corporation. So why do we need a municipal corporation? Well, Municipalities, as we all know, can't generate a profit, but municipal corporations can, and can apply for grants. And most likely, our first grants next year within the corporation will be the Water for Life grant, which is 90% funded. And right now, it's a formal way for the county and town to secure long-term water access for the residents, the businesses, and for future development within both of our municipalities. Thorsby has a state-of-the-art water treatment plant that's underutilized. We know that. It came into commission in 2011 at a cost of $11 million, $1 million to the town of Thorsby, which will be paid off next year. And of course, we have the infrastructure, we have the intake, we have the water license, and the county has the customer base. And of course, the MCC can access provincial grant funding. And we have been, talking to the province and so forth, and it's not a secret what we're doing here tonight. Currently, there's no private service providers operating in the county and the town with respect to water. This time, the county of Wetaskiwin just received a grant for, what's the word I'm looking for, Scott? For Water for Life, that's right, thank you. And that's to look at, to see what infrastructure we need to distribute water to, through Wetaskiwin. The town of Thorsby received a $200,000 grant about a year and a half ago to determine, do we have the infrastructure, the pumping ability to get water into the county of Wetaskiwin. And that report has been published. It was Select Engineering. So now the RFP has been sent, or the tender has been sent out for the second grant for Water for Life to determine what do we need to get the water there as far as infrastructure. So here's the goal. We want to improve water accessibility, quality, and reliability. And so we're proposing to create a formal partnership. And we've been working just about a year at this now, and with both councils, counties, and their task forces. And of course, we want to explore shared distribution systems. How's that going to work? How's that going to work in the county? How's that going to work for the town of Thorsby? We want to unlock funding opportunities for sure. One of the main things we want to do is this corporation will operate on grants for a while because what we need to do is get everything started with distribution, with infrastructure, and so forth. So right now, that's where we are in the planning stages so far. And we want to support growth in both communities. County of Wetaskiwin is growing and has a lot of opportunities, and the town of Thorsby also has been waiting a very long time for something like this. In the original ISL prospectus, when they built the water treatment plant, that's what was in that prospectus is regional water. So it's been going on for a long time. So why form one now? Well, again, I'll reiterate that we have a grant funding of $100,000 secured through the Water for Life grant. And that will enable us to determine what infrastructure we need to be able to pump the water, for our colloquial term, pump the water through to Wetaskiwin 10. It enables reliable costs and identifies future growth opportunities. It looks at the MCC sets rates. It will be able to set rates. It will be able to look at infrastructure and that sort of thing. So that's important. The funding will support feasibility studies and a business case. And of course, feasibility studies are important because we have to know what things cost, what we need, and how we need it. And early planning positions us for future infrastructure funding. And right now, with most municipalities in the province, there is an infrastructure deficit. And we have that, and we also want to make sure that we have water security for our two regions. It's a first step. The MCC. It is not a final decision on building infrastructure. This is the first step to form a municipal controlled corporation. That's the why. So a municipal controlled corporation is very governed, there's oversight, and there's a lot of governance. And creating it under the Municipal Government Act requires we have to identify a valid municipal purpose. That valid municipal purpose identified is regional water distribution. We have to define benefits to the residents. And benefits to residents may be, and I highlight may in capital letters with a line underneath it, may help them get off wells. It may help them have potable water distribution. It may help agriculture. It may help commercial businesses. And it also allows us to do careful research and business planning. This is not an overnight sensation. Nothing will be 100% secured in 10 months or less, or 15 months or less. We're very purposeful in this, and we're very selective in this. And of course, it also tells us, for oversight and governance, that we must hold a public hearing. So that's why we're here tonight, to the council of Thorsby, the council of Wetaskiwin 10 this morning had their public hearing this morning. But it's important to have public hearings to let you know what we're doing, and to let you know how we're going to do it, when we're going to do it, and that we're just in the exploration stage. Municipal corporation will be equally owned by the county and by the town, 50-50. So what will we do? What will the MCC do? Well, first of all, the initial MCC will be a basic structure only, with no assets or funds required. No water lines or services are being built or transferred right now. That's an important thing. There's no water increase, no taxes increase, no infrastructure increases. It is a basic structure, municipal corporation. And then it formalizes a partnership between the County of Wetaskiwin and the town of Thorsby. So it enables us to start working together. It also enables us to conduct technical studies and business planning, and that's important with all this. So when we talk about a 3, 5-year, 7-year plan, that's what this is, and it's important to do this. We have to do it right, we have to do it cost effectively, we have to do it appropriately, and we have to keep everyone in the loop about what's happening. And it enables us to explore water distribution options for both communities. County of Wetaskiwin 10 has infrastructure, as do we. And will people want water in County of Wetaskiwin? Some will, many will, many may not. So we have to explore all those distribution options. And of course, when we say distribution, it's distribution if you want it. That's important to note. And we also have to ensure that utility rates are competitive and affordable. And right now, they are estimated to be what Thorsby pays now, $6 a cube, and we don't anticipate any increase for quite a while. So I want to make sure that that's very clear for our residents. The MCC applies to Water for Life grant funding, and Water for Life gets their money from Alberta Transportation. So Water for Life is a 90% funded grant with the municipalities paying 10%. And this helps us conduct engineering studies. We know we have to get the distribution lines to County of Wetaskiwin. How are we going to do that? What are we going to do it with? How are we going to engineer them? All that has to be looked at and engineered. We also have to identify infrastructure needs and costs. That's still up for discussion through these grants coming next year and through understanding. We have to also explore future growth areas and capacities. Where are we going? Will it grow to a different part of the county? Will it grow to a different area? We don't know that yet, and we're exploring all options. No options are out, no municipalities excluded, and we're looking at a regional issue here. And of course, we have to ensure informed planning based on evidence, not what we'd like it to be, but what it has to be, based on engineering evidence, sound business practices and principles, keeping in mind the environment, keeping in mind business models that are out there, and all the customers and contacts that we'll need for that. So that's all part of that future funding. And here's the benefits to the region that we believe there are. It improves water quality for Pigeon Lake area residents and businesses while protecting the aquifer and the lake. It's important. And it supports future residential, commercial, and agricultural growth by ensuring long-term water access. And of course, most of us have heard the news in that about water in southern Alberta, and some of the things that are happening, and some of the recent issues with cross-border water with the Old Man River within the States and within southern Alberta. And so we want to make sure there's a benefit here. And part of the big benefit of this region as well is that Thorsby has an intake into a glacier-fed river, and that's our source. And we're not pulling out of a lake, we're not pulling out of rivers and so forth, and we have the license to do that. Now, the benefit to the region, again, carrying on, is it provides additional resources for fire protection and emergency readiness. Certainly, one of the things we want to deter, and we're exploring this, of course, is is tendering water from long distances to a big fire, especially an agricultural fire. So we want to be able to shorten that distance or make sure we have water to do that. And emergency readiness is huge, and the province, through Alberta Emergency Management Agency, requires us to have these things thought through. It also enhances our regional economic competitiveness through shared infrastructure and planning. And we want to be competitive here, and that's all part of it. And not only that, we know that in the future we can't rely on tax dollars. We can't rely on the public having to have more and more money put out. We need to be more self-sufficient. It also means a secure, reliable, and sustainable water treatment facility. And our water treatment facility is state-of-the-art, and we need to start using it. So we have some key certainties here. And the key certainty is no assets or financial transfers at this stage. There's no assets being transferred into the Municipal Controlled Corporation. There's no financial transfers at this stage. Thorsby will continue to operate the water treatment plant, build a residence, look after our infrastructure, fix our water main breaks, that sort of stuff. And of course, the County of Task-110 maintains what they're doing right now. We're not ready to transfer assets or financial money at this time. The key purpose is to have the municipal corporation documents signed and a shareholders agreement. So there's nothing transferring at all, and I am saying that maybe many times because I know folks get worried about, well, what'll happen? Who's doing the building? What's it going to cost, etc. Nothing changes right now. Any future changes. So if we do service provision or asset transfers, the regulation, the municipal corporation regulation requires us to do public consultation, including public hearings, and have formal council decisions. So that's important. We can't get out of that. We can't budget. And so those are our key certainties, and that guarantees our ratepayers the opportunity to always be kept informed. So where are we in the process? Well, we're currently in the public hearing stage, required by the Municipal Government Act. And of course, public input is required before any decision. And public input in a public hearing allows the public to indicate their thoughts, maybe their feelings, maybe their knowledge. And each council then considers a formal resolution. After all the public hearings, they spend some time considering the material, business cases, and that sort of thing. Then they consider a formal resolution. And the final municipal corporation set up to follow only if approved by both councils, and if approved, a notice is sent to the Minister of Municipal Affairs indicating that Thorsby and Wetaskiwin County 10 have formally structured a municipal corporation, controlled corporation, and have signed the document. So if approved, if both councils approve, and they have to take into consideration everything from both public hearings today, county this morning, and of course Thorsby this evening, the MCC corporation will be finalized and the documentation will be finalized. The feasibility study and cost analysis utilizing the $100,000 Water for Life grant will begin and get that started. We will then submit a grant application under Water for Life for capital construction. That means, what do we use to get the water? What do we use to distribute? And we will maintain honesty. We'll let you know what's going on and provide updates to the public as we move forward. That takes us to the overview and the oversight of what we're doing tonight, Your Worship and Council, and our esteemed guests in the public gallery. And I now relinquish my chair, sir, and move it to your discretion.
Thank you very much, Giovanna. So, persons wishing to provide written submissions or make a presentation should note the following deadlines and requirements. Persons claiming to be affected may attend without prior notification to make their views known by speaking at the public hearing. Please note this hearing now is in progress starting at 9 o'clock. Written comments will form part of the submission and presented at the hearing. Submissions must be related to the topic of the public hearing. Council may determine speaking time roles. In public hearings, council role is to hear from the presentators. Questions may be directed by me to the CEO to answer, or anyone else I feel appropriate. Following questions will not be considered at this public hearing. I just wanted to point some of these because I'm quite sure that some people may be thinking about that. When will our taxes go down? When will our water billing go down? When will we fix our streets, roads, sidewalks, sewers, and water lines? Who builds for the future? Are we selling the treatment plant? And how does it help Thorsby? So I will not be answering those questions. It's pertaining to the MCC. To attend virtually, there is a website here, and it's been posted. The names of presenters and written submissions will be recorded in the public minutes of the meeting, and written submissions may be made available on the town's website. Other personal information is protected by the privacy provisions of the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. As of July the 29th, 2025, one written submission has been received, and that is from the County of Leduc. So, persons wishing to be heard, we can start it as we go. Madam Mayor, go right ahead.
Where do I speak from, sir?
Anywhere is actually, Mike.
Yeah, I think everybody can hear. If you want to
No, I'm good, thank you. We'll find a spot. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to come out tonight and speak on the behalf of all Leduc County residents. On July 14th, we sent a letter to the town of Thorsby mayor and I assume councillors to express our concern about the process related to the creation and the communication thereof for the proposed MCC. I'll be using the points in the letter tonight as a guide for my speaking, but I will not be reading the letter out. First, we were very, very disappointed with the lack of communication and transparency. While we were made aware by the County of Wetaskiwin that the town and the county would be applying for a Water for Life grant, we were not informed about plans for the MCC. Leduc County did not receive any formal notice about tonight's hearing, despite the fact that in your notice, if I just may, a large part of Leduc County is in the green area, which means that somehow something's going to happen between two municipalities to residents in Leduc County that we have no knowledge of, which is very, very disappointing again. And this could create issues related to trust working together, but we will look at those in the fall. Secondly, we'd like more, we think there needs to be more clarity on the need for the MCC at the stage, and I heard the CAO talk about why they need it, and what I heard was it was around grants from Water for Life, and I believe Water for Life grants can be provided to municipalities without the creation of an MCC. In fact, we could have done a tri-party, 3 municipalities together with an MOU or an MOA talking about how we might approach this, which would probably look even better for the province looking at granting. We also are wondering about how this is going to be moving forward. And again, appreciate the comments I heard over and over again that nothing's changing, we're not moving forward, things will change if this is put in place, otherwise why put it in place? So the MCC will set the rates and create the plans. What input would Thorsby Council have? It's my understanding and the understanding at Leduc County that creating an MCC is like creating an EPCOR. And so how much input will councillors and council have on that? What input will they have? Will Leduc County have any input? With these questions in mind, we just think, again, better to plan first, create this if we need it. If we don't need it, don't move through it. There are some jurisdictional considerations we believe that should be noticed, and I mentioned that. The map up there does show a very large portion of Leduc County in that green service area, and yet we know nothing about it. We also know that any kind of access from Thorsby to Wetaskiwin County will go directly through Leduc County. Again, no heads up on that either. Fourth, we're worried about alignment with current existing intermunicipal agreements, such as the ICFs, which have been reaffirmed by the Minister of Municipal Affairs. So moving ahead then, will Leduc County work with water and wastewater discussions with Wetaskiwin and Thorsby, which we have ICFs with, will we be now working with the MCC, or will we be working with council, or will we be working with both of them? Will we be going through a level of red tape that is not required? And finally, and I heard again through the presentation tonight, we talked about, this is going to spur on development. And we are very concerned about what kind of developments might happen around Pigeon Lake. We have heard over and over again from residents of the lake about the current overutilization of that lake. Our study of the lake, or the lake watershed, said that the water that's in the lake today has been there for 100 years. So the turnover of the water in that lake is so slow, and that creates lots of issues that we hear about every summer. So do we want to push more residential development down there? Not sure. Have we looked at those impacts? Yes, we can do them later, maybe to do them first. Finally, and this is to the council, are you confident in giving up your ability to set rates and look at you and deal with water in your jurisdiction? We in the county have a water system, and our county council not only sets the rates, we actually set the criteria for rate change. And one of the things we look at every single budget season is what does the affordability look like. If the water rate goes up and we're passing it through from our provider, what does that look like if our taxes go up? What's the overall picture of affordability for residents in the county? That's one of the things that we do. Talked a little bit about the red tape. Are we creating more barriers? Are we making more meetings or less meetings? MCC says there's not going to be any money. If you set up the corporation, you need someone in the corporation chair, I'm assuming. I don't think you can set up a corporation and just say, no, the town's going to keep running it, because I don't believe that was the issue, and I could be wrong. So, and how will that be paid for? Water rates, utilities, taxes. Finally, the number of residents you need to make a water line viable. In 2019, the county looked at extending a water line from Nisku out into our heavily populated east country residential area, where we had about 700 people looking for hookups. It was not viable. People showed up at our public hearing and said, please don't make us pay this much for water, because by the time you pay for the line and the venture on the line and the managing of the line, and not everybody has to hook up. So you can run a line past every single person's place all the way down to Pigeon Lake and not have a single customer. It's different in rural than it is in urban areas. So again, is it the right time? Have the right people been, have we had the right conversations with the right people in the room? The benefits that were shared today, all those benefits can be realized without setting this up, without creating red tape, without creating another layer, working intermunicipally, being a good neighbor. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mayor. So, certainly some of those we have heard before, and I don't know if Adam, say Donna or Scott, you guys want to make any comment on this here, or just take it for we can talk about it later?
Your Worship, we've determined we'll take this as information.
Okay, thank you very much, appreciate it. Is there anyone else that wants to be heard at this point?
I'll just ask why, or if Leduc County is willing to be a participant in this. Well, like you said, nobody asked you to be a third party, and I'm just wondering how interested are you in working with this, with Tasker and Thorsby?
I'm going to defer that to our...
Sure, yeah, absolutely. We've had discussions, and I, as Madam said, I discussed it with the Reeve of the county, Josh Bishop, and as she said, he has talked to him. Donna and myself had a meeting with the county myself quite a while ago here, Donna. That was, I haven't got the exact time frame, sorry. And as far as the letter that was submitted by the county of Leduc, we will be addressing that certainly in the future. as this whole meeting is for information, that's what we're doing at this moment. And that's why the discussion is a public meeting, and we will take the steps to answer these questions before. And as pointed out in the PowerPoint and everything here, you know, this is, the decision has still not been made. So we have not made the resolution for it. These are the steps that we've taken. The county of Wetaskiwin had their meeting this morning, and a lot of these questions we will refer to and answer them at some time here. Yes, go
Mr.
ahead.
Mayor, for the record, if we can have your name, sir, spelling, and I know you're from Thorsby, just for the record formally, sir.
I'm, Joe, or Joseph Verbeek, it's Verbeel.
M, sir?
M.
M? Okay.
And the first speaker, I didn't catch your name.
I apologize, Tanny Blanco, Mayor of Leduc County.
Anyone else has to be here? Yes, go ahead.
Good question, I don't know.
Please state your name for us here so we can record it.
Wendy McDonald,
Okay,
I'm a resident of Thorsby.
thank you.
Is or will Thorsby's water ever be considered potable water?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It's okay, can I refer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I refer? Wendy's asked the question if, correct me if I'm
Is
not
our
wrong,
water or will it ever be potable?
is our water or will ever be potable? And our water's potable now, Wendy.
Yes.
I filter it, but one day I didn't filter it, and it tastes like river water, from source.
Okay, that's fine.
And I don't think potable water should taste like river.
We check it every day. So the treatment plant is checked every day. Anybody else want to be heard?
I could just stay here and let stand up.
No, okay. Just speak clearly to the microphone.
Okay, my name's Carol Rumpel, and I'm a local here. My question is, are there any consultants involved with the negotiations of the sale of our water, and if so, are they getting compensated financially? And if there is, I'm worried about conflict of interest. That was my question.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. No consultants at this time. I'm a consultant, but appointed by the town of Thorsby to be CAO, and my salary with the CAO is part of this. So there's no extra money, no consultants, and there's nobody extra. Scott, CAO of Wetaskiwin County, is also an employee and appointed by council as well. So there's no extra money on this at all.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sure. Any other person wishing to be heard? I will ask a second time. Or any other persons wishing to be heard? And if not, I will ask for a third and final time. Are there anyone wishing to be heard? All right. At this point here, I would like to have the council direct administration to bring to council.
Written submission, we have to read into the record.
Pardon me?
Written submission to read into the record, sir.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, so the written submission by the county, say Donna's going to read that for us.
Thank you, Your Worship. A written submission from Leduc County to be read into the record of the public hearing dated July 2/9/2025. Written July 14th, 2025, to the attention of Darrell Hostin, Mayor of Town of Thorsby, recreation of a municipally controlled corporation. Leduc County would like to express its concerns regarding the proposal to establish a municipally controlled corporation, MCC in brackets, to develop a regional water system. Heading, lack of communication and transparency. First and foremost, we must express our deep disappointment at not being informed about this initiative. We only became aware of the public hearing for the MCC by chance. As a municipality that values collaboration and prides itself on being a reliable partner to our neighbors, such as through our joint efforts in recreation funding, this lack of communication is unacceptable and discouraging. This action also has the potential on impacting future cost-sharing agreements. Heading, question the need for an MCC at this stage. We also question the necessity of creating an MCC at this time. In the frequently asked questions section on your website, the response to the question, why are you creating an MCC now, states, quote, forming an MCC now allows us to plan for the future responsibility and collaboratively with no initial cost or asset transfer required. This response does not adequately explain why the MCC must be created at this stage. There is no requirement to establish an MCC in order to utilize the $100,000 Water for Life grant to study regional water. Eventually, assets such as water treatment plant in the town of Thorsby would need to be transferred to the MCC, but that does not justify its immediate formation. Heading, jurisdictional considerations. We would also like to highlight that the proposed pipeline route and service areas fall within Leduc County's jurisdiction and would require the necessary approvals to proceed. While the Municipal Government Act, MGA brackets, does not require the town of Thorsby or the county of Matanscough to obtain permission from Leduc County to secure a utility right-of-way, approval is required to cross county roads or road allowance. While we are not raising this issue formally at this time, it is important on page 2 to note that such permission would be required before any construction or service delivery could proceed. Heading, alignment with existing intermunicipal agreements. Leduc County has long-standing partnerships and collaboration with the town of Thorsby and the county of Matanscough. The current intermunicipal collaboration framework, ICFs, with both the town of Thorsby and the county of Matanscough, together with the intermunicipal development plan, IDP, with the town of Thorsby, warrant notification and review. Ideally, this regional water system project should be advanced through those established mechanisms. Heading, environmental and development concerns. We're also concerned about the potential impact of regional water infrastructure on the landform and environment around Pigeon Lake. This issue requires thorough study before any further steps are taken. The introduction of regional water service could significantly increase development pressure in the area, potentially disrupting the peaceful environment currently enjoyed by residents. Moreover, it may become apparent that the project's financial viability depends on such additional development, which raises further concerns. Conclusion. We believe that a regional water service initiative has significant implications for all parties involved. However, Leduc County, a critical potential partner, has not been included in the discussions to date. This represents a significant oversight. We strongly believe a project of this nature should be initiated collaboratively through the ICF and IDP frameworks, engaging all neighboring partners with a clear focus on preserving the sanctuary that Pigeon Lake has become for many residents. Signed, yours truly, Tani DeBlanco, BED, MED, Mayor of Leduc County. Copies were sent to Reed, Josh Bishop, County of Matanscough, Leduc County Council, Donna Tona, CAO, Town of Thorsby, Scott McDougall, CAO, County of Matanscough. So read into the record, Your Worship and Madam Clerk, ending to this reading.
Thank you for that. So that was the last, there were no other written submissions, so I would, if supported at this meeting, council direct administration to bring to council a resolution for their consideration at a future scheduled or special meeting regarding the formation of the municipal controlled corporation.
Yeah, I move to provide such direction to administration.
Thank you. All right, in favor? That is carried. And we have no further business, so I will close the public hearing for regional water at 6:38. Following this here, we're gonna take about a 15-20-minute recess, and then we have our regular council meeting starting at 7 o'clock, and everybody is certainly welcome to attend that. And thank you very much for attending this here.
announcement.
How about right
They're
on that?
going tonight to meet at Costco.
Okay, the groceries.
I said, well, they've got like hot dogs, hamburgers, ham.
There's hardly time to go back to your unit and eat at supper time. Like, just by the time you get
Breakfast
there,
and lunch and stuff.
stuff the sandwich in your mouth and you turn around and you go straight.
Well, that's what, Kyra said, they've always just made themselves ham sandwiches the whole time, that's what they lived off of.
I think my cousin and I had alligators. Yeah. But yeah, they can have
Alrighty.
breakfast and lunch.
The point of interest, I closed the, public meeting, and I took a recess, but I didn't adjourn it, so I'd like to adjourn that meeting.
You gotta call it back to order first.
You got to call back to, I'm
Call
sorry,
back
we
to
didn't
order.
get to your work.
So, call back to order now, and I adjourn the meeting.
That's the order of
Oh, I don't have my phone, I don't know.
All right. Thank you very much. So, I'd like to call order the regular council meeting for July 29th at 7:02. First order of business, call for pecuniary interest regarding the agenda. I don't believe there's any, and I believe we're gonna have a little bit in camera today.
No, you can answer it in camera tonight? No.
No.
Is there any?
We are going to have some.
Two separate cameras.
There won't be of that, so we're fine there.
I'm not okay tonight, and there's no in camera, correct, CFO Cindy? No in camera?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Fine. Okay. For the agenda, additions, deletions, I have one. I just have a correspondence item from the new RCMP, commander, deputy commissioner, Trevor Darrow, and I'm just gonna enter it as correspondence, 12.1. Does anybody have any other, additions or deletions? Not, can I have a motion to accept the agenda with that one addition?
I will move the agenda with that addition.
Thank you, all in favor? That is carried. Item 4.1, 2024 regular council minutes. Are there any error omissions and anybody who has to move forward?
June 24th, 2025. Sometime
Backwards.
2024,
There's a condition for that, isn't it? It's called dyslexia.
Yeah, it's called a public hearing.
Yeah, it is, you're right. Okay, sorry, June 24th, 2025. Are there any error omissions? Not, motion to accept the minutes?
I can make that motion.
Favor? Thank you. All right, we'll move on to 7.1, Leduc County Regional Assessment Review Board Agreement. And say, Donna, if you want to tell us what we're doing there?
For sure, your worship. Basically, when we first introduced it, the Leduc County Regional Assessment Review Board Agreement dropped the council on June 10th, 2025, and again, this is for anyone who chooses to dispute their assessment of their property. And so if they do, they go to this board. And now we're returning it to regular meeting for passage. So the Leduc County Regional Assessment Review Board came up for expiry this year. Needs a replacement agreement along with the new bylaws. The bylaws also in the package. Regional Assessment Review Board Bylaws 2025-06. The draft agreement provided as a term that's continuous and can be reviewed at any time the agreement is in force. So we're amenable to the agreement without any changes that have not already been discussed by council, unless there's any changes tonight. But we're recommending through motion of council that this agreement be accepted and passed second and third as presented.
Thank you for that. Is there any discussion on that from anyone? If not,
it's just a matter of, I don't know, policy, maybe we want to actively add it to our, like, organizational meeting or something. It's going to get lost in the shuffle, and we think to review it on an ongoing basis. But as far as actual bylaws stuff, I think it's fine, but
Oh, and this is, like.
it's on our end, just because, like, yeah, it is just a continuous agreement that nobody will think to have a review, and so we should maybe just internally have something to make sure we just add it to the organizational meeting or somewhere, just so that actually does get reviewed periodically.
We can, for sure. Yeah, we can make that happen. Yep, I got you now. Thank you.
all right. Okay. So you want to make a motion to that effect? If that is your motion?
We have to have a passage of the review board agreement, and we can have a second motion for, administration to include it in the orientation.
Gotcha. to accept the agreement as presented. Sorry, thank you.
So,
All in favor? That is carried. The second motion is to,
Direct
I
counsel,
would
your
move to
worship.
provide direction to administration to, add review of the Regional Assessment Review Board agreement to the, council orientation package and or, annual, organizational meeting if, deemed appropriate.
you, all in favor? That is carried. Okay, 8.1, Leduc County Regional Assessment Review Board Clerk's appointment. And, Don, I guess, there's a recommendation there, but if you want to talk about it first.
Talk about it a little bit, the Regional Assessment Review Board, in conjunction with the Leduc County Legislative Clerk Lisa Brown, as well as the Thorsby Legislative Clerk Jesse Carlson, required to be appointed by council to their Assessment Review Board clerk role. So what typically happens is Lisa's the senior clerk, and if she can't make it, or if we need backup, or we're doing something, we need two clerks, and they do have to be appointed. So it requires each partner municipality to appoint both a clerk and an assistant clerk. So you have to be the assistant clerk to perform the duties and functions listed under Section 7 of the agreement. Section 7 of the agreement indicates requires administration, and it's basically the board coordinator. So if something happens to Lisa or anything like that, we do have backup. The assistant clerk of any partner municipality is responsible for all duties of Section 6.3 of the agreement and not legislatively capable of performing any of the duties of a head clerk unless appointed. So just, we're not appointing Jesse as the head clerk, we're appointing her as the clerk. Recommendation, be it resolved that Lisa Brown, legislative clerk for Leduc County, be appointed as the clerk for the Regional Assessment Review Board on behalf of the town of Thorsby. Be it resolved that Jesse Carlson, legislative clerk for the town of Thorsby, be appointed as the assistant clerk for the town of Thorsby.
Thank you for that. Anybody have any questions, discussion? All right, so the first motion is that Lisa Brown be appointed as the clerk of the Regional Assessment Board on behalf of the town of Thorsby.
Be it resolved that Lisa Brown, legislative clerk for the county, be appointed as clerk for the Regional Assessment Review Board on behalf of the town of Thorsby.
Thank you. Favor? All right, somebody want to make the second one?
Be it resolved that Jesse Carlton, legislative clerk for the town of Thorsby, be appointed as the assistant clerk for the town of Thorsby.
Thank you. All in favor? That is carried as well. All right, 8.2, AUMA conference. That is it. Still called the AUMA, not AUMA.
That's not very
So
much.
confused.
Okay.
AD meeting.
All right. So, CFO Cindy.
Hi. Jesse, can you put it up on the screen because I can't see it, please? Thank you. Yes. So every year the AUMA, and I apologize if you hear noise, I'm in a campground on holidays. So every year the AUMA holds an annual conference that representatives from the provincial municipalities are encouraged to attend. The 2025 conference is being held in Calgary from November 12th to 14th, with the required Munis 101 course being held after the main event. Over the past 2 years, the town of Thorsby has had 2 councillors attend and come back to council with a summary of their takeaways from the conference. During budget deliberations for the 2025 budget, attendance at this conference was discussed, and it was decided that the budget would not be increased to allow all of council to attend. Members of council have raised concerns that the incoming council should attend, as they feel there is value in attending the Munis 101 conference is being offered there, and it will allow the incoming council to be healthy and attend events together. Below is a breakdown of the cost to attend the event for all council members. I won't go through every single item, but the total cost for 5 councillors to attend is approximately $15,571. The total, or the Munis 101 course is also offered virtually for a discounted price, and the total cost of attending virtually is $1,475. So the cost of attendance could be reduced by $22.95 if the in-person Munis 101 course was foregone and council attended virtually at one of the available dates utilizing council chambers. This affords the opportunity for council to attend the course together and have administration available to answer any questions and have a group lunch provided, allowing for a healthy, fresh start to the new council term. The budget remaining for conferences, meals and subsistence and training as of July 25th, 2025 is $8,028.72. Therefore, if council makes the decision to attend, all members to attend, they would need to determine where to forego budget dollars to reallocate to conference attendance. So we would recommend that council through resolution approve the number of registrations for the 2025 AUMA conference, as well as the modality to attend Munis 101. And I attached the Munis 101 fact sheet, which gave all the dates and information regarding that course.
Thank you. Corey, go ahead.
It just is worth pointing out, especially for anyone you guys, like, it is absolutely required that all members of council attend Munis 101 and do so in a very tight time frame after being sworn in. So that part of it is required somehow, no matter what, and it's a provincial requirement that changed recently.
Yeah, we can do that online here.
Yes, but yeah, just we have to do something, no matter what, right? So.
Go ahead,
I was absent at the budget meetings, and I was unaware of the conversation that we were going to forego and reduce the budget for that. So, yeah, when I kind of raised alarm thinking we need to get on this booking hotels and whatnot. So that's where I had tried to light a fire under administration to book us hotel rooms. And then, so Cindy had explained and broke it down for me, and the Munis 101 virtually would be very suitable this year. So I don't see an issue with any of it.
Yeah, and just because it's with the Remembrance Day, instead of a pre-conference, it's post-conference, it would actually be an extra night worth of hotel rooms, I think.
Yeah.
So it would actually be 5 nights hotel rooms, not 4.
Exactly.
Well, it would be Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, because the conference starts Wednesday and the Munis 101 course ends Saturday at noon.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And I mean, who's to say that the new council can make it? I mean, you don't.
That's not, we don't know who it is.
You don't know who they are or what their schedules are or anything, so it makes sense to have a one-day thing with the Muni 101 and have.
Well, because that's a requirement. Attending the conference is in no way, shape, or form required.
Right.
Munis 101 is, so at least if we make sure that's taken care of, that's the big priority, I think.
We thought we could do, you can have lunch, you can have your breakouts here, we're here in case the new council has any questions, we're working here all day anyway, comfortable in hearing a couple new councils together.
I mean, it's just, to spend $15,000 for, that's a lot of money. So I think it's certainly prudent to do it this way. Anybody have any other discussion?
Yeah, and quite often, conference bounces from Calgary to Red Deer to Edmonton.
Yeah.
So depending on where it is, depends on whether we require hotel rooms, but this year it happens to be in Calgary, so the extra expense. So I understand.
Okay, perfect. So, does anybody, do you want a motion here to do this? Actually, or not?
Do you have to book in right now for the Munis 101, Cindy? And I know that includes covering a CAO if you book for all 5. You get +1 free.
I don't, well, they're only offering so many. It doesn't, I'm just looking here to see. It doesn't really say there's a limit on the online ones.
It's the training.
I just know I read that if all 5 are registered, it doesn't have to be for the same session because there's different offered. But if all 5 are registered, I don't know if there's a time period, and then the CAO would be offered it at a cost of free.
Yeah, they just have to be registered for the course and take it before June 30th. So they have to be in a course that happens before June 30th, 2026.
Yeah.
But the, like, you don't have to have an individual named or registered for it, there's, like, you just save a spot.
Yeah.
Yes.
A, B, C, D, and E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can
Because we don't
register.
know who
will be in.
But we just don't know people's schedules, right? So,
I mean, we can just defer it till the new council. We
Well, I think that was the discussion at budget, was we had no idea who and what they're gonna wanna do, what they're gonna be able to accommodate.
Yeah.
I think the virtuals will be able to get in on no problem. It was the conference and being in attendance was the issue.
Anybody-
No, everything's good. I have no further discussion.
Okay, does anybody, you want a motion to defer or to just?
yeah, Donna, what do we need?
I would suggest that we just have a motion, to register for the, virtual.
Okay.
And as a council, and, at the appropriate deadline, during administration.
All right.
I would move what Donna just said eloquently.
All in favor? That is carried. Makes sense. Thank you very much. That, makes a lot of sense for that one. 9.1, Regional Assessment Review of Bylaw 2025, second and third readings. Donna, you wanna talk to us about that?
You can, Your Worship. So basically, we wrapped your first reading, and there was some comments and some things, and we haven't heard anything from council, which is definitely not a criticism. So we're presenting bylaw 2025-06 for second and third readings. We're very acutely aware that this is the proper procedure, to have council be able to look at it first and take some time with it. Regional Assessment Review Board was introduced 24th of June at a regular for the first reading, and administration and council did not note any changes to be made. Since then, there have been no further required changes made by administration, so we haven't changed anything. We're now presenting this bylaw for second and third reading, and we recommend through motion of council the bylaw 2024-06 Regional Assessment Review Board be provided second and third readings.
Okay.
2025.
Yeah, I move second reading of bylaw 2025-06.
Thank you. All in favor? And can I have a motion for third reading?
I will make that motion.
All in favor? Carried. All right. Administration 11.1, the variance report. CFA Cindy, please.
Get it up on the screen. I want just the variance report. Yeah, thanks.
I'm trying.
I
Kind of hard.
can't even. Yeah, I can't hardly see it. But we have most of our revenue now just because of property taxes. So if you can scroll down to the bottom of the revenue, yeah, we're at 70. Whoa, up a little bit. Sorry.
Where?
A little bit more.
Lower.
Right there. So we're at 73.09% of revenue as compared to 71.39 last year. And I believe our expenses are really good right now. Can you scroll down to the bottom now, please, Jesse? Thank you. We're at 48.41 as compared to 50. My eyes aren't working. 8.9 last year. So we're below expenses for halfway through the year. Oh, and all our grants have been approved. So that's from the government. So that's good news that way.
Okay, so all we have to do is spend them and then we get them back. All right. Anybody have any questions for Cindy? No? Okay, motion to accept the variant points for June 25 for information.
I can make that motion.
All in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, correspondence. So 12.1, actually just pretty straightforward. Received a letter from RCMP delegating Trevor Jarrow as the commanding officer of Alberta. And, I don't know if you wanna make any comments on that, Donna. We sat in the, virtual, meeting, Donna and I, and we talked about later in our,
We can talk about it now, if you like.
Go ahead, yeah, why don't you do that?
Okay. Well, the mayor had to cut me off, I was talking too much, so. I've known Trevor Giroux, Superintendent Trevor Giroux, and Inspector Trevor Giroux from the Calgary Police Service, so he rose through the ranks, after he retired from the Calgary Police, he went to the RCMP, they slid him across, basically lateral transfer into a senior executive position. And, he's very, operational focused, I will say that. Very Indigenous focused, and where I first met him again in his capacity as RCMP is when we were consulting with 6 ago, and on behalf of our company, so we had a chance to chat. And, it's gonna be interesting to see the changes he makes with the service. He's definitely not a passive man, so, we'll see what happens. Through the detachment commander here, it might be kind of interesting to invite him out here a little bit, and so he can see what's going on. He's usually pretty amenable to that. So we'll sit back and watch and see what changes he makes and what he wants to do. His worship and I sat through 3 hours of the funding model explanation for policing. And I still haven't got the PowerPoint yet, that reminds me, I gotta get the PowerPoint. We get put into small groups like we usually do, you get put into small groups. The PowerPoint, I won't say was misleading, but it didn't make sense.
It was very elementary.
It was very elementary, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense. They had Mars Norris Penny, MNP, do the, consultants, do the facilitating. Pretty confident those folks just graduated, no slam to them, with a finance background or criminal justice background. We were in a breakout room, Mr. Mayor and I, with Beaver County, with Two Hills County, Thorhill County, ourselves, and mostly northern counties, I think. There was about 10 or 12 of us, I think, in the breakout. Brazeau was there too as well, yeah, which was good. A lot of the counties aren't happy with the being charged for an enhanced position because the enhanced RCMP position is supposed to do enhanced policing. So in other words, more school stuff, more crime reduction strategies, that sort of thing. And they always get absorbed into the detachment as regular duty members, and we pay just about $300,000 for them. I know I was talking to Enoch the other day, they pay $1.2 million for policing at Enoch. And most of them are all, yeah, it's a lot of money. And they have the detachment right on site, and they never see the RCMP. And
you don't see them out and about at all.
Exactly, 100% right, Councilor Shelley. So we have some concerns. They talked about the sheriff, what we thought about that. We have some concerns about that, and I did say publicly, as an administrator, that with this police funding model, they're going to ask rural municipalities to choose between the RCMP and the sheriffs, the Alberta Sheriff's Policing. And I said, with all due respect, as an administrator, knowing what I know about policing, I can't recommend to my council that they take the sheriff. They need to stick with the RCMP because the sheriffs are trained in traffic patrol. I don't think there's a clear-cut strategic plan for the sheriffs. I don't know where they're going to get trained, how they're going to get trained, because they got to be 3 or 4 months in police school. Traffic training and traffic interdiction is one thing, but packing a gun with the domestic is a whole other skill set. And so they haven't thought that through. I do have knowledge of the new inspector that's going to be leading the sheriffs, and I'll just say I have knowledge. So I don't know what's going to happen, but we will probably I'd probably look at recommending sticking with the RCMP at this time, because what they want to do is get rid of contract policing. Well, the problem with that is you have rural municipalities that need them. Not only that, what they're not thinking through is the RCMP are written into all the treaties, literally written in, and as long as the First Nations follow the Queen's laws, and it'll always be written Queen because of Queen Victoria, they will always be serviced by the RCMP. So they can have their own standalone police services, but the RCMP still must be there to protect and provide, enhanced services. So I don't know what they're gonna do about that one. It's kind of interesting. A lot of us said that, the funding model is based on the severity of crime index. So in other words, the more crime you have, the more you get paid. Well, that's ridiculous to me. And so I propose that we start getting credits for the peace officers that we have, because we're paying for them. We want credit for that. And there was great support from the other counties to that. Because we're not getting credit, and your peace officers are the front line, really, that are
Well, not only that, they tried to tell us that they have a board and all this there, and they're listening to what we say and all that, and which is a lie, because we get the invoice, they pay it, and that's it. That's all we hear from, nothing else.
Yeah, that's right, I forgot about that, because somebody said, have you heard the review board, or the...
Yeah, we've never heard a word from them.
They've never come and talked to us, nothing. They're all appointed, and I don't know, nobody knows what they're doing. And that was a consensus, which was really quite interesting. We're tired of, one of the things that was suggested, I can't remember if I added to it, I'm pretty sure I didn't suggest it, I probably added to it, but that's nice that when the prolific offenders are in jail, nothing happens. That's good, awesome, all right. So now that they're in jail, and you don't have to chase them around anymore, let's do some target hardening. Let's look at the municipalities and say, what are your service levels in accordance to match the RCMP strategic plan? What are your service levels that you need? We have time, what are we doing here? Other than, well, they're in jail for 6 months and yeehaw, the rodeo starts again, kind of thing. So
it's catch and release, just like fishing, they say, you know.
Yeah.
You catch the guy, put him in jail, you release him, next week you catch him again. And of course, you know, we tried to say that, to change that, and of course they said, well, that's a federal thing. They tried to, take it away because the lawyers let them go. Wow.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna propose, one of the things I wanna propose to our statutory commander, and I'm subject to your approval on this matter, but I wanna talk to, Staff Sergeant Angela about target hardening. I wanna talk to her about what she considers service levels that the town authority, would like in conjunction with their strategic plan. It doesn't have to be 10 things, or 5 things, or 20 things. Because part of the other consensus is that when you went to RCMP, there's somewhere else in the county, not just us. Everybody was saying that. And so you could be 45 minutes for a call, a response call, and because they're stretched too thin. So then I propose, well, they've been thin for a long time. The government is managing the contract. Why have they allowed this to be thin over all these years to the point it's become unmanageable? What hasn't been analyzed with the recruiting strategy? What hasn't been analyzed, I think, with a lot of the RCMPs, they don't want to transfer anymore. They're done. You know, send me to a province, or send me to where my family is, and that's where I want to stay. Stop playing Russian roulette.
And every municipality was saying the same thing. Everybody shared the same concerns. So, I mean, where they think they got support for the sheriffs, I don't know. But
I don't know. So they'll send us a report, what we heard.
yeah.
We will be happy to share it with you so you can read what you heard.
Yes.
And we'll go from there. But I think it's going to be an interesting battle coming up. I really do. And I don't think it's going to be all that pleasant.
They just do whatever they want.
Yeah, they do.
That is their MO.
That is their MO. Yep.
They pretend like they get our opinion, but they don't.
They don't. No, and the only thing I think we can maybe catch them on, we might be the first, I'm prepared to be the first, is okay, let's talk service levels here for a minute. Because they don't have any for municipalities. They have their strategic plan, that's what they follow, but they don't stop to think, okay, you're under our strategic plan, town of Thorsby, but what does the council want?
Yeah.
Other than just stats every quarter, and we're one of the lucky ones, because a lot of times, some of these counties, and that we're saying that bodies come in maybe once a year, maybe twice, so ours come in every quarter, because we invite them. So I'm gonna propose that to Staff Angela, I'm gonna set up a meeting with her, and just ferret it out a little bit and see. And then then council would be able to set service levels, which you want, that might be kind of cool. And maybe we'll propose it as a pilot, and, you know, maybe we can get to, Assistant Commissioner, or Commissioner Giroux, and say, hey, what do you think? So anyway, that's kind of where it's at. It was a long 3 hours.
Yeah.
Thank you. Comments, from everybody? No, just motion to accept the correspondence for information.
Yeah.
favor? Carried. All right, so the public meeting kind of took everything, that's all we have. If, anybody has any comments in here they want to talk about or anything?
I have one question, Donna already answered it, but just about the grass cuttings and then you guys are gonna look at getting bins and that.
Yeah, I had actually Rod and Wayne, I think they were hanging around for that, and I talked to them, they were very disappointed that we were closing the dump, and then I explained to them that, you know, it's costing us money and the abuse, I mean, people are dumping satellite dishes and concrete and blocks and, you know, and not taking the garbage out of their bags, and every time that happens, it costs us money to clean it up. The last one went for, Bowman was what, $1,600?
$11.80, and we still have about 30 loads.
Yeah.
That he has, because he has a 24/7, 365 burn pit, so he's hauling all that refuse, all the tree stuff to burn, not the garbage, but the tree stuff. But we're gonna have to budget probably 15,000 next year to haul the rest of it away. It's all, if we just put it at the lagoon right now.
So I think you can maybe comment, we're trying to work with the garbage people to have a bin for that, you know, just.
Yeah, like the garbage contract was up for
Yeah.
tender either way.
That's right, and we've got, 4 tenders, and what we'll do is, we're gonna ask your worship and council, a special meeting to be determined, probably in the middle of this month, so we can let you know what all the tenders came in at, how they scored, what we like, what we dislike about them, and what we recommend. So it's a big contract, and it's one the council needs to look at in, closed meeting.
How soon would that take place? Some kind of
I
time?
think we're talking middle of August, you were talking maybe.
The contract expires the end of September.
Yeah.
Sorry, Corey?
The current contract expires end of September,
Yeah,
so we have to have it in place by then.
yeah, yeah. And then I just learned something tonight, I have to ferret it out a little more with CFO Cindy, but, we may be able to, save some money with recycling, so Cindy and I have to talk about that. It's a good thing, actually, so. CEO, Savannah and I were talking tonight, so we may have a solution that we don't have to worry about recycling anymore. Still recycle, we just don't have to worry about paying for it, that's what I'm saying. So, we'll let you know when we got it under control.
So I have a couple of things here that, I wanna bring up, you've already had your public meeting about the waters.
Yep.
I get that, I understand that. I'm curious about 2 things though, there's a street, sort of a back alley / is what I'll call, right where the south bin is there. Have you guys had any thought to what you're gonna do with that street due to traffic? Because you've already had couple issues with other streets, and people beating the shit out of them and everything else.
Yeah.
And then my other comment would be, are you guys, or have you even thought maybe approaching the Department of Highways for traffic? Because you're gonna have trucks and everything else coming into there, loading and coming out. So maybe that would be, just a suggestion, that might be a good idea to be able to help lower miles per hour.
Oh, I see, oh, okay, yeah, your worship to.
Because right now you've got the spa, the Arctic spa, so I think it kind of slow down, sort of, maybe, not really. But now if you're gonna have a more higher traffic, and I'm talking the future, but it's a good thing maybe to put in behind, to maybe start a discussion with the Department of Highways, say, look, we're kind of thinking of this, we're kind of proposing this, maybe we can drop that mileage down, because, I know I forget the gentleman that we were talking to the other day, he said it was like a 40K or something before, and then it was raised to 50. And the reason I bring that up is because it makes no matter, I sit out on my front deck and I smoke, and I see these trucks piling through that 4-way intersection, and I've got a clear shot at the school 4-way intersection, and they are not slowing down.
Like, it doesn't never hurts to ask and see, maybe get a different answer, but at the same time, like how it does drop from 100 down to 70, then down to 50 now. That took us, Councillor Foster spent the whole last term arguing with him about that. And they were not willing to, they just gave them to do a reduction, instead of going from 100 down to 50, to do the 70 in there, it was like a monumental ordeal.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, it doesn't hurt to ask, but don't hold your breath.
Yeah, no, I don't plan on holding my breath, I'm just saying.
Yeah, they don't like to
You're
do
going through
that.
this process now with the water transfer station and then all the bulk water and all this other stuff, right?
And as
So-
far as the back alley there, Kevin, we didn't have the budget for this year, but, next year, we've already talked about enhancing that all over there.
Well,
You
yeah,
know.
we'll enhance to the, approach
Yep.
of the water. Then we'll put up signs, there's no heavy traffic back there, no heavy truck traffic. They can't go past the bulk water station, because it's not a direct
Yeah,
road.
but a sign means nothing.
Well, we're.
Like, it's great to post it, but nobody believes in signs now anymore. They look at you and the stupid sign. All, my concern is because where you guys allowed, not you guys, previous councils, allowed somebody else, a whole pile of trucks and stuff to do something. There was a bunch of damage done on the 2 roads down.
The
But the other
one going
accounts
back
there-
to off Steve's Hoffman, that road was, he's referring to all the loads of dirt or snow or something that were all back there.
Oh, on 53rd.
And damaged the road.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was just poor sub-base of the road as well. Like, the town has put a lot of heavy traffic on there more than anything, because that's how we access the lagoons, or not the lagoon, like the water reservoir.
Okay, so my concern is that the current road that's in there right now is
Yes.
not up to specs. So, yeah, you can post a sign and say no heavy traffic, that ain't stopping.
I don't
My
think anyone would want to
concern
use
is,
it,
if you're
but
further on in the budget, like, are we gonna have another road right by a bulk water station that's gonna be shut to hell? And then we gotta turn around, take it.
there's a turnaround at the bulk water though, right? Like, it is a
Yes.
loop, and it would actually be quite a nuisance for them to actively go out the back way there.
Have you seen the food, you know what I'm talking about, how people drive.
I do, but it seems insane and they're having to get stuck.
All I'm saying is it's a concern, and
Yes.
it was brought up by a few other individuals that I've talked to, so just kind of keep that in the back of your head, because you are still
Yeah,
in the
I
planning
think we do,
stage.
because, I mean, that whole street, when you go around the corner, is, we have to look at that as well.
Well, it's more of a, it's not even an alley, it's a mud path.
It's a one lane road being used as a 2-lane road.
Yeah, it shouldn't be there, actually.
Yeah.
We'll just, okay, so number 1, Kevin, with the speed limit, yeah, I've got connections in transportation. I'm not confident they'll lower it below 50.
No, but if the question could be asked.
Oh, I have no problem.
At least you
Yeah.
have it on record, yeah, we did ask,
Yeah.
if something happens further on.
Nope, I could chat with them.
'Cause you've got a residential house sitting right on the corner there, and I know the fella, he parks his truck there. So now are you gonna go to that guy and say, well, we've got this open now, the trucks can't turn around because you got your truck sitting on the side of the highway? He doesn't leave.
Well, you're talking about the gentleman on the corner there by the bulk water station?
He doesn't have to move his truck legally.
No, he does not.
So, like, I'm just saying, like,
Yep,
prevention,
yep.
or pre-thought of it, so.
Yeah, and our new peace officer gets here the week of the 16th of August, and, we'll get him all orientated, and that's his first assignment is traffic right there. I want tickets done. I know exactly how fast they're going, I sit and watch as well, so I get what you're saying.
Hasn't the school spoken to the government?
They're not, yeah,
Many times.
Many
Many
times, that's right.
And they don't,
But this has
they're
been-
not willing to reduce it or make it a school
Yeah,
zone.
we've asked, it's been asked a
Yeah.
lot.
well, it's not, the problem is it's not a school zone. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
it's slightly too far away for them to
Too far
consider.
away.
Right to it, that's the problem.
Yeah, and we can't make
And
it.
there's no playground close enough either.
No, and I might have transportation, see if we can make it a school area, because in Rimby, the school's way far away, but coming in there, it is a school area, and it's regulated as a playground, because it's a school area, so there's some kind of,
Ask the church to put like a swing set out front.
we could. Maybe, yeah.
Like, I know the Haymaker had a deal last weekend, and you should have seen those guys come flying out
Oh, I know.
at 11 o'clock at night, and just straight up and down, like, at that intersection. And I'm just going like, guys, like, I don't care if you're late to get home, that's your problem. But I'm thinking of the school,
Mhm.
because that's a big one, there's a lot of kids in this town
Yeah.
that are there in the evenings walking and everything
And
else.
it's a huge amount of resources policing that crosswalk in order to prevent an accident there. We spend a lot of resources of the town, the school spends a lot of time and money trying to actively have someone staff the crosswalk because it is such a problem, but Department of Highways has never been.
Yeah, but you're only staffing it Once a
morning,
day.
well, morning and evening, 5 days a week, right? Like, is it,
When in the morning, Corey, I sit out there every Friday.
is it not in the morning? Do we not do it in the morning?
We
No.
used to.
I thought we
So
did it in the
I
morning.
did, well, now that we haven't got a peace officer, we haven't, that'll happen again.
Okay, yeah, like, okay, well, fine, we're temporarily not doing the mornings, but either way.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and all
It's
of
been an
it.
ongoing issue for years, and Department of Highways has never given us an inch. It has been asked many times, and I'm sure it'll be asked many more, but they have never given an inch on it.
Okay, did you have something else?
No, you keep shutting me up, so.
No.
I'm just saying, here's food for thought, guys, that's all
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying.
no,
I know where you're coming
Yeah.
from, you could ask and ask.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
ask.
and we do keep
But
asking,
if
yeah.
you ask and it's on record, at least it's on record.
Yep.
So if something happens,
I agree with that, yeah.
You know,
And like I say, it doesn't hurt to get a no, but at the same time, it doesn't really get anything fixed either.
I may drive to Stony Plain, talk to those guys in person, so I may just drive to Stony Plain and go, all right.
Okay.
Make sure to pick up some dinners for us if you do.
I think he's
Oh,
finished.
Mr. Mayor?
He's finished.
Daryl.
Yeah.
I was just going to comment that Kevin is correct, that it used to be 30 kilometers an hour there many years ago, because I did get a ticket there, because I wasn't doing 30 at the 30 sign, and I was slowing down to turn to go to the school, but that wasn't good enough. But anyway, it was, and I think it was determined that because that road is not directly in front of the school, it does not have to be 30. And so the 30 is on the east-west road going up past
Yeah, and there's like
the,
a distance requirement there, if it was slightly closer than they
Yeah.
make it.
so they were able to put it back to 50.
Yeah.
So that's,
it just, there's a lot of kid traffic there.
Okay, Wendy, go ahead.
Will West Tower, will West Tower not cooperate with you? I'm sure they have cameras that they can.
We've talked to them, their cameras, they're not good enough to pick it out there. We've had people in there that we've seen, and we couldn't identify who they were, and, yeah, they have cooperated, we've looked at it
Oh,
in the
good,
past.
okay.
But it's
Next
just,
thing, on 50th Avenue, going east of Wild Mechanical, can there be a speed limit sign there? They go ripping through there, there's kids walking that sidewalk.
What is the speed limit there? I think it's
Yeah,
50, probably 50.
but I think the
50.
sign's up further, but down where it's more gravel, they could go.
Well, I mean, they're pretty heavily
All over.
loaded sometimes too, they got a lot of cattle loaded up and.
I know, but it's not the cattle truckers, but the trailer behind that goes, like, the normal half tons and stuff.
Well, I find it's both.
Yeah, your cattle liners have exceptions, right,
Yeah.
in weight, but I think, my first instructions to the peace officer are going to be, we're done educating, we're done.
'Cause
Load 'em up.
I hate to see a child get in on
Yeah.
the road. I'm sorry, but.
yeah, no, our peace officer, Angela here, should look after stuff like that.
Yeah, we're gonna do it, I wanna do a couple of JOCs with the joint operations, and how we can stop this.
I think there, when I first moved here, I didn't notice much, but I've been here a year now, and I think they know that there's no police officers, so they,
They do know,
that's the teenagers,
yeah.
oh.
or young
It's
adults,
all teenagers,
19,
but
20, yeah.
I don't.
Or Corey.
You got it.
I get told I drive like a grandma all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, very quick to tell me I drive too slow.
Of the forum on the upcoming elections for new council in October.
Yes.
I know we're having a forum, we didn't on the last council, but we're having a forum this time, I believe. And I understood that if the residents want to ask a question to a councillor or councillors, they write their question on a piece of paper and hand it to the person, usually the chamber, member of the chamber, to pass that message on to that particular councillor. It all depends on that person, whether your question gets passed on, or if they don't ask a question, they don't pass it on.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I've been to these forums, and if I've had a question, I voiced my concern, and it's been no problem at all.
And where did you hear this, where did you get this from?
Who's doing the forum?
I don't know,
Because,
ago when it first came out.
The question should be directed towards whoever's doing the forum.
yeah, so I think we'll have, well, first of all, nomination day, we haven't even had nomination day, September, what, 18th? 20th? So we don't know the counselors, and then they'll go to the forum, so we'll certainly, I agree with you, yeah, that, there's gotta be a better way, so I mean, I'm hoping that there's gonna be more than one forum. I know that the seniors are interested in doing one, and, actually, the last one wasn't done by the chamber, it was done by, Jablonski there,
Miss Linda was the moderator.
It was as the Chamber of Commerce.
as the chamber was, okay, I stand corrected,
I mean, there was a forum.
yes, there was.
Yeah,
It's
and it was-
online.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like
but
the
she
Chamber
said
of
there
Commerce.
was no forum, there was a
Like,
big forum, and lots of
hosted
people
and-
attended it.
And there wasn't an in-person forum.
Well, because it was
So
COVID.
hopefully there's gonna be a bunch of them organized, and, if not, then we'll see to it that something's done for sure.
Well, no, we
We're
don't.
not allowed
Council does
to.
not.
We can't.
Council does
No,
not do
but I mean,
that.
But you can have coffee, meet and greets and stuff
If you as
like
a
that.
candidate wish to do something that is great, but council will not be doing
No,
that.
we can't do anything like that.
No, I've been asked the CAO what's the protocol and have done quite a few forums, like
Like
this.
someone has to host it.
Yeah, someone has to host it, and the questions are allowed to be answered by the person asking them.
Yeah.
Because that's democracy. And sometimes if people don't get to ask their questions or don't want to, but want to send it in, then the candidates all answer the questions, and then it's put out there. I moderated when, who's that goofy mayor of Edmonton, that young guy was running for mayor, what was his name? Oh, a couple of mayors ago. The Alberta Home Business Association asked me to moderate it. What was that young mayor's name? With back hair.
The good-looking black one?
No,
Black hair,
no.
like black hair?
No, he had black hair, yeah.
He's a baby.
I like the good-looking.
You know, he was like, he was the previous mayor, he wasn't like.
Yeah.
he was the
Yeah,
previous mayor,
and so there was probably 200 people in the room, and they all asked their questions, and then what they did after, because I was moderating it, they had all the questions in, and they didn't get a chance to answer, they could or could not put their name on, and all questions were sent to candidates, and all the answers were synthesized into a document and sent to everybody who had registered to be there, so that can happen too, but, you want people to ask their own questions.
So just let me ask this, how many people are on the website right now, how many, what?
3 councillors and 2 mayors. I looked to 3 councillors and 2 mayors.
Yeah.
I looked today.
Well, if somebody swaps their paperwork around, you guys can just have an acclamation.
Let's hope not.
So, do you know who's doing like, have you put the election people into place?
No, not yet. Well, we have, yes, I'm the returning officer, and,
Because I have concern and interest here, so you have a candidate for mayor who's on the Chamber of Commerce.
No, she's
So
not.
they are running.
She's not a
She's not a
member.
she's in, it stays.
She's a volunteer there.
She's a volunteer. Still have a bit of a conflict of interest there.
She really can't be on the board taking minutes because she
Go ahead,
can't
Jesse.
volunteers on the board.
No, I like his answer.
Yeah, no, you're right, I agree.
I was just gonna say, there's nothing that strictly prohibits anybody from serving both on council and as part of like a chamber, Communities in Bloom, any other community group. It's just that when it comes to making a decision in council that may, count as a conflict of interest or pecuniary interest, they would have to, rescind themselves from the room and from that particular portion of council. Or sometimes I
Like,
think.
yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying on a moral and like a philosophical level, but
I
legally,
understand what you're saying.
no, but legally, there's no prohibition.
I've been done there, I've done that.
Yeah, there is no prohibition legally.
And really,
She can be the president of the chamber and host her own forum and ask herself her own questions, and there's nothing wrong with that technically.
Well, trust me, I plan on doing that because
You
I'm
absolutely
running.
can, I
And I'm
don't
gonna
think.
go to the galley
Mhm.
after I'm done, and I'm gonna be asking questions.
Fair enough, but like I say, it's,
And there's nothing you can do to stop me.
there is clearly a bias there, but there's not actually technically a.
My concern is, I reviewed the last council, all of your stuff here, and there was a question and answer period, so the questions were basically pre-sent in.
The virtual, you mean,
So
forum?
you're only allowed so much time.
We were
to
each
get-
allowed so much
Oh,
time.
they gave you like 30 seconds, it was quite offensive.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm getting.
I couldn't answer anything in 30 seconds.
No, well,
Well,
Really?
Tell us your name.
Come on, I've never talked so fast in my life.
But I mean, everything is really premature until that nomination to the 20th, because even though these people have their name on the website, if they don't show up on the 20th, they don't.
And/or people might withdraw their
That's
nomination.
right,
That's
that's right,
right.
we don't know, I mean.
Just, people are asking questions.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them answers.
As a candidate, I encourage you, that's absolutely what you should do, but as a council, we should stay out of it.
Yeah.
And we would look, or not we, but I've announced how to set them up. I can't set them up, but I can provide advice, because I've done them, and I've said, you're gonna wanna set up two forms, one for the councillors, a separate one for the mayor, even whether it's acclamation or not. And that way you have different questions come through. And that way, when you kick your councillors out, when they're done their form, because they always go first, they can go in the audience and do what they need to do, right? That's pretty normal stuff, so. Yeah, the seniors are asking how to do it, for sure, and I said I can guide you, but I can't help you. I can tell you what to do, what not to do, what makes sense, but you have to, eventually, you have to figure it out.
So right now, as it stands, though, the seniors are the only ones that
So far,
are
that I've heard of,
coming forward.
that I've heard of.
I bet you that virtual one we had that last time was probably the best attended forum ever,
Yeah,
like, seriously.
would be. I know Phyllis Luke is very, Mayor Phillips, retired Mayor Phillips, is very adamant about having a forum. Every time she comes in, my second boss tells me, we have to have a forum, so, anyways, yeah. That's the only one I know of. If you know of any others, that's awesome. A lot of times the CAOs don't attend.
For good reason, yeah.
For good reason. I may or may not depend, this one might be.
You're brave if you do.
I know, I might this one, just for fun, I wanna see how many dresses I have to buy for the next session.
Daryl, I think Joe wants to ask.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a point, what you were talking about, the RCMP and sheriffs.
Mhm.
Councils, people that went to the meetings and everything else are all in favor of keeping RCMP because mainly cost. But the service isn't number one. And that's where the point comes in of where the sheriffs come in. Because people are complaining about service from the RCMP.
Yep.
And that's where you wonder where this sheriff idea comes from. It's from the average citizen who's not getting served by the RCMP, and the same crap answer you get from them. Oh, well, that's a federal issue.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, let's just say that the sheriffs get in there, we could be in the same position. They could be doing exactly the same
You
thing.
absolutely could, except you have control of them.
But we need
Whereas the
to,
province does.
like Donna says, she's gonna sit down with, Angela here, and, one thing that brought up in that thing was that, the guy from Tollfield says, I sit down with them once a year and we do the strategic. They've never asked us for that, never.
Yeah.
You know?
We get told what their strategic
Yeah,
plan is,
exactly.
what they're gonna do in our universe.
So, I mean,
That's why you don't have control of that because they're federal. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why people are talking
Oh, I
sheriffs and
agree
private
100%.
police forces in Alberta, because then it's provincially controlled or more
But
controlled.
if they think it's gonna be cheaper, there's.
No, it's gonna be
Oh,
important.
There's definitely.
No, it wouldn't be cheaper,
Yeah.
but it's not, it may not be cheaper when you increase the service either.
Well, and the new sheriffs, it'll be the new provincial police, we'll say it that way, also have to operate under the provincial penalties and offense act. They also have to act under the, police act in Alberta and all the
Yeah.
statutes. So you still won't have any say because, the chief reports to the minister in Alberta, saying it.
Well,
And they should have a commission, quite frankly.
Don, I've never thought to ask you, but you could probably answer, am I mistaken, like, would the RCMP not still have to exist in the province in order to enforce federal law either way?
Yeah,
So we're just entirely duplicating costs,
well, that's true, because they have to see for two reasons, one for First Nations
and for federal.
and for federal.
So we have to still have RCMP attachments, staff with RCMP, with cars and weapons and everything else, and we're just gonna create a whole new redundant cost on top.
Yes, it will, because they own the labs, right, the federal labs, so where are you gonna get your crime stuff done?
Like, it's hard to, yeah, I've always thought that was the case, but nobody's really, yeah, it
No, they
seems
don't
like that
wanna
has to be
find
the
that.
case, like, surely the RCMP still has to maintain more or less the exact same presence here.
They do.
So you and I had this discussion previously when, I said, what are the police in town doing for us? Well, you've got this level, and then you've got to pay more money for this level.
Yes, if you want
And then this
enhanced,
level.
if you want extra ones, yes.
So, like, do you bring in the sheriffs? Because if you're gonna pay for this level, right?
So then
We've kind of had this discussion before, because personally, I see the police come in, come out. They do nothing. That's my personal opinion. I've seen them sitting on the corner and a guy flying down the frickin' highway. Quads, you name it. Same thing. Where are these guys? Well, we're kind of busy and we're servicing. That's your problem. If this town and you guys control the money and stuff like this, and you're paying more money for these people to get off their butt and do something for us, then something should be brought up at that, so.
I agree.
You're gonna have a conversation, but to me, as a taxpayer, yeah, I want something done, or I'll do it myself.
That's fine, Don, what you're saying to do, and everything else, I agree totally. But you just wonder, where is this coming from? It's from poor service.
Oh, 100%, I won't disagree with you at all. And if
Push
we,
back those other costs on federal debt, if
Yeah.
there's a lapse and everything else.
and the federal government will never allow that in a million years. They will force the province to pay for the Mounties, in each province, again, because they can't leave because of treaties, so somebody's gotta pay for them, and First Nations don't have to pay for them, right? And then if we think that the sheriffs, they're gonna need at least, in Alberta, more than 1,000 sheriffs. Now, most of those guys may be retired RCMP too, you never know, but with the sheriffs, and this is I'm not telling tales about the soul, not being disrespectful to the sheriffs. They were trained in traffic interdiction, drug and traffic interdiction. A lot of them tried to get into regular police services and didn't, and that's okay. You don't always get what you do.
But now they're gonna be regular police.
Yeah, so they all have to
Which
be.
is terrifying.
Yeah, all they have to be polygraphed and go through that same process.
Training.
Are they gonna pass that? If they do or don't, are we still gonna have the sheriff? And the sheriffs were, I remember, Inspector Coletti, when he was the first inspector of the sheriff's way back when he retired out of county police. And he's done it a long time ago, so I'm gonna say it, if he'd have set up the sheriffs properly, we wouldn't have to worry about speeding on highways and all that, right? But if they first thought they set up the sheriffs where you have two sheriffs working, but you had to have a Mountie car close by, because they didn't have guns and weapons and on and on and on. But if they're doing their job in interdicting things, they should be allowed, and they are allowed to a certain extent to interdict drugs and smuggling and all that. Most of them should be, held for speeding, because I go down Highway 2 quite a bit with our company, and I've been passed by those sheriff's wagons hauling prisoners at 170 kilometers an hour. 170, 160, 150, and I followed them for a while. Turned in a few, oh really? That's what you get, right? And there's no need for them to be speeding, because I guarantee you Charlie Manson ain't in that van. And he sure hasn't killed any more people. So, we've got a serious situation on our hands that is layerness. And so the only way to fight back in some cases from small municipalities is and we kind of agreed that night, I think at that conference call, we're gonna start fighting back with our peace officers. Okay, we might need 3 peace officers at Leduc. We might. Who's paying for it? I'm sorry. You're going to give us the credits for what we pay for policing, and you're going to allow us, more money here for policing based on our peace officers. So it's gonna be an interesting conversation. I look forward to it. All right, thanks for that. Does anybody have anything else?
Okay, great. Oh, we got a question.
I should have mentioned these prior, but I didn't think of it until I was sitting here. But one thing we should maybe discuss is the Kalmar Parade. We haven't really discussed that, and we won't have a meeting before then.
Yeah, I think we settled all this in the last.
But who's going, has anyone committed though? Like getting us to commit is a totally different
I don't know,
thing.
it's not that big,
Anybody that wants to join?
Is that Saturday, August 16th?
Yeah,
Because I'm available.
I'm driving the float.
I know, I've got a family reunion that weekend out at,
Oh, and yeah, I have another engagement I have to go to. I will not be there.
I already signed you guys up, so.
Well, worry about you with the
George said he's coming, because he drives,
Yeah, don't see why
his
wouldn't.
water guns all charged up.
Actually, I think my engagement's in the afternoon, so I can maybe squeak in the parade.
What time is the parade at?
11.
11 a.m.
Yeah. So we have to leave here at 10,
Okay.
but I can't fit you on the truck. You can run up the highway.
Not like
but
it's far.
Yeah, it's just,
It's not far,
So, yeah, so we are registered and we.
yep.
all right, okay.
Well, if the parade's at 11, then we need to probably be there at 10 or something, we really leave
Yeah.
here at 9.
Yeah.
It's 15 minutes.
It takes a long time to get the
No,
thing.
I can't drive the float as fast as you can.
Okay.
Well, I could, but there might not be anything left of it by the time I got there.
Yeah, 170.
And then I just was wondering what's going on with the bulk water station.
Absolutely nothing. No, I'm just teasing. What's happening is we were a little late, nobody's fault, we went to the screw pile, there was a logistics issue with the screw pile. Screw piles are all in, the lines are all, done from the south res. The platform is in, and if you go by, you can see, you know, cement and that, so the platform's in, the cement platform's in. So they're waiting for all that to dry and cure, that's why there's no, it has to cure for a while. I think 20, 25 days, something like that. So, it's cured for a while now. So the next thing to do will be the pilings are in for the arms. You can see the big steel pilings in for the arms. They're both in, we're only using one arm this year. And they're getting awful close to having us, haul it over there and set it on its boundaries. We've got to do some, excavation work against the self-res, against that fence, the chain link fence there. Pointing into the lot, the right spot lot, that's all gonna be graded flat, so that's lots of turnaround. Doesn't look like that now, you go, how are these guys gonna turn around? Now, engineers have done the template radius, all that dirt against that south reservoir will be scraped away and that will all be flattened out, because we might even move the fence in because we don't need all that dirt at south res, because, the reservoir underneath doesn't come out that far. So, there's that, so we're just waiting for cement to cure, and then the rest is, set it on the platform, then Cindy can look after the billing and get all that stuff done. When she's off holidays, probably in March, and,
So what are you thinking for a go live, or we don't know for sure?
well, I'm thinking, but I'm not gonna publish it. Because I give up. I'm hoping the end of August. I'm hoping. But so far, they're on track. The tenders for 53rd went out, we had to redesign, some of the road work on the main. They weren't happy with that, what we had to do, because our mains are silly, under 778, the transportation wasn't happy with that. So Jared had to redesign that, tenders went out, and, we're hoping to start this year. Our problem right now, and we've been given permission to extend that tender, like that business of work, to June of next year, only because we're getting inquiries from companies before we can do the job.
They can't do?
No, they think they can, but they
Oh,
can't.
but just,
They're just fly-by-night.
I was gonna say those, the
Grab
ones
money.
that caused us problems in the past.
Some are new, yeah. So, it will get fixed, it will get done. We just wanna make sure we have the right contractors. And speaking of that, I spent time with the sales of the town of Pinoca last week, spent a couple hours with Sandy. And, she's, got all the documentation to start pre-qualifying our contractors. And all the legal stuff, she's gonna share it with me, then we're gonna meet in September and just go over and make sure we got everything right. Cindy and Sandy and I are gonna go for lunch in Leduc, so.
Are those specs available to the public?
They will be once we get them ironed out, yes. Yeah, if you're pre-qualing, we can put the pre-qual in the Alberta Purchasing Connection after most of the pre-quals go, and then anybody that wants to pre-qual with us will pick up off the Alberta Purchasing Connection as a pre-qual section, so.
I just wanted to know if they're using GeoEd.
You know what, I can't answer that, Kevin, I haven't got that far yet, I'll let you know.
Or that should be in the tenders.
Are you talking tenders, or are you talking pre-qual for contractors?
Tenders, that should be the tender. If you're gonna use road fabric or road grade.
Oh, yeah, that will all be in there, yeah, sorry, Kevin, I misunderstood you, sorry. I was gonna say, I didn't write it.
That's why I wanna look at it.
Yeah, I know.
Quick enough, nobody.
Yeah, I'll let you know where the tenders are posted, then you can have a look for sure. Yeah, usually on the Road Builders Association of Alberta is where we put them.
If it's quick enough, nobody can get in to get water in Warburg right now, their streets are dug up deep,
Oh, I heard they were doing some construction, yeah.
heavy
Mhm.
construction, and the mud and rain hasn't helped them.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, nobody can drive in there and get water, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Can they only fill up a
Yeah.
couple trucks a day anyways?
I don't know if they do, in Warburg now, couple of streets are dug up so they can't, but I'm not.
They've been at it forever, and they've been
Up to your
working
chin,
7 days a
you stood in
week.
their
I go by
street.
there Sundays, and they're working.
Yeah.
It seems like they're making much
Really
progress.
doing
No,
that.
nobody is, Leduc's don't.
The road and the infrastructure.
Most of the time, they don't work on the weekend, but they work when it's sunny. It'd be nice.
They just dug deeper in Warburg now, it's bigger.
Yeah, it's a super.
Little bigger. hole.
Swimming hole now, oh my God, yeah, so.
Yeah,
So where's the
good.
construction in
Oh, yes, construction in Leduc, they tore up the street past the Lutheran church for 3-4 months. By Elements Day Spa has been tore up for 3-4 months now.
The elevator was, like the elevator.
Yeah, by the elevator, that's still one way you can't get on it, because they're doing curb and gutter. It takes forever to do curb and gutter, I see.
Curb gutter, and they've done a walking path about 10 feet wide that's asphalt. I don't know what that's all about.
Oh, that's to hook the trail system up in Leduc. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on that trail system. Yeah, and so it can go downtown now in parallel with the sidewalks. You got bikes on the big asphalt, you got people walking on the sidewalk. It's Leduc. It's just Leduc.
And Donna, the network of trails here, I saw advertisement on Facebook or whatever you wanna call it, that they've been groomed. Who did the grooming?
Lions, I'm guessing?
Well, if there was any grooming, it would be done by the Lions for the trails that we own.
Yeah.
But the private trails, they're not groomed at all.
No, I read that.
I think the Lions, they've been busy working at it down there.
Maybe I just,
Oh, yes, yeah, it was Nathan Raymond, yeah. He groomed, through just, up until the private property, and then he is, I think, informing people online and anybody who comes and calls the lines, to not go further into the private property or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just a question.
all right.
Great question.
Anything else? I think Cindy's falling asleep there, so we better let her go.
Cindy wants to go drink.
Yeah, I think so.
Cindy needs a drink, she's on holiday.
Yeah, no kidding.
I know her.
Looks like she's drinking.
All right, if there's nothing else, then, meeting adjourned.